Hi, I'm the Brown Booktuber and I want to talk to you about a fiction book I think everyone should read. There's no green screen behind me because I can't really make jokes about this book and it's a bit of an experimental book, so experimental lighting right now. So I want to talk about Grief is a Thing with Feathers by Max Porter. It's an extremely short novella, about 97 pages, it's very small. You can read it in a sitting really, maybe an hour or two. And this book I read when I was about 19, maybe 20 years old. I was kind of going through it, at least going through it for, my own perspective. Everyone's, feelings are all different, and what one person is going through it isn't another person's going through it. But to me, I was, okay? And this book was so good at helping expose and show you how you deal with grief and coming to terms with grief. It was beautiful. Like I said, it's an experimental book, so sometimes the prose is a little bit all over the place. The character, the crow, who visits this grieving family, their parts are a little bit more so the experimental part, the way the text is formatted or the way the crow speaks, the language it evolves and changes throughout the book, and especially evolves and changes with how our main character Ted's feelings and emotions change and move and meander throughout the course of the novella. I genuinely feel reading this book, it was a life-changing experience, and I know many people say that for many books, but for me, there are very few books in my life that I have felt are life-changing. My favourite book of all time, If Cats Disappeared from This World, I don't think is life-changing for me, obviously. I don't think reading that book changed my perspective on life too much. Obviously, books will always have some sort of effect on you, but Grief is a Thing with Feathers genuinely made me sit there and consider, wait, what? And also, I was on my lunch break when I read all of this book at a bookshop, so I was in tears, and my co-worker walks in and they're like, what are you doing? And I show the book and they're like, oh yeah, I understand. And then I went down and, I was wiping tears as I went to the front desk. But that's the kind of effect I feel this book has. I've lent this book out to a couple of people and their responses have been very similar to mine. Obviously, not everyone will feel that way about this book, so this isn't me saying if you don't feel absolutely life-changed in every single way possible, you are a bad person. It's, people experience stuff in different ways. I'm sure there's books people have been like, wow, this book changed my life. I'm like, it was alright. But for me, I feel like it's incredible. And also, again, it's so short, and I'm sure you could probably get it somewhere fairly cheaply, considering it's so short. I'm going to have a link down below for you to pick up the book. But, if you can find it cheaper, don't use my link, use that link, obviously. But yes, I genuinely think Grief is a Thing with Feathers is that one book that I would give to any person. I would maybe give it to someone I know. I'm not going to go to a random person and be like, hey, read this book, because I don't know them. But if it's someone I know, like a loved one, and I understand they will get the book, I would give it to them. I'm not going to give it to someone who, wouldn't appreciate it. Well, maybe I would. Maybe I would give it to someone who in my mind I perceive as, oh, they won't appreciate this, and maybe they will. That happened in one instance, actually. So yes, I highly recommend Grief is a Thing with Feathers. It is beautiful, it is saddening, and it is life-changing, in my opinion. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this experimental second video of 2023, I believe. Remember to like, subscribe, and share the video with a friend or family member. And hey, I hope you read a great book today.